What is going on, everybody? I'm back with my partner, Joe Mantione. And dude, what a week. Last time you were here, we were talking about the stock market, and then the next day, the stock market was like blown away, dude. Everything was just going haywire. There's like 10 different stories breaking that have some relation to the stock market. Most people know about the Reddit situation with the GameStop thing and how they inflated the market. I want to let you get into that though. But before we even talk about that though, Joe, we just thought of something that we want to do to help people, and it was actually your idea. So why don't you tell them what your idea is?
What what a week,
Yeah.
well, to say the least. Let's put it this way: I've been investing in the stock market for probably, I'd say, a good 4 years. So I don't have as much of experience as like a stockbroker on Wall Street. But the point I'm trying to make is that I have enough experience to know what's going on, and I've made myself a pretty penny investing in the stock market.
Sure.
With that being said, um, with this rolling 5-day calendar week, starting from Monday through Friday, and a little bit before that, I've made the most money I've ever made in my life, in a rolling calendar week.
You said
Yeah,
last
at
week or the week
least.
before?
This week,
This
this prior week,
So
yeah,
before today being Monday or Tuesday, I mean, before that, yeah, I see what you're saying. Last week.
yeah,
Yeah.
this past week, including today.
Oh, okay.
I did make a ton of money off of AMC today as well.
Right.
I actually re-rolled AMC, and then we'll get into that later because I'm going to explain everything that I've done, that people that I know that know exactly what's going on. We're going to talk about GameStop. We're going to talk about AMC. We'll even talk a little bit about Robinhood and other brokerages. And to make a long story short, I mean, this show is going to be jam packed with financial news. So, if you're not into that, you might as well just turn the channel.
And
But
that's the thing about Nickel City Chronicles is it's going to be something different every time.
absolutely.
I got 4 guests booked right now. I'm not going to get too much into it because I don't want to. One of them might not come, and I don't want to get any hopes. But I got 4 guests booked, and they're all super and compelling people that are going to tell their story. So that's what's coming down the pipeline. But like, yeah, if stocks and finance and economics isn't for you, then yeah, we'll see you next time. You know what I'm saying? It's no big deal.
We're kind of like a smorgasbord of food, of different topics, politics, sports, whatever you need. We're here for you. But we're gonna try to stay true to our roots and always keep a little politics in there. So with that being said, let's give the big announcement. So the big announcement to start off the show is the Nickel City Chronicles Relief Fund. So what that is with the impact of COVID-19. The restaurant business has been extremely impacted. So what Neal and I decided to do is we're going to start a GoFundMe page, and we're going to try to raise as much money as we possibly can. And then what we want is for you guys to send us a compelling message of why you think a waitress or a waiter deserves this money. And when we review it all, we will take all that into consideration, and we will go ahead and donate that money to this said person. What we'll do is we'll go out, we'll have, get a couple of pops, maybe share a burger or whatever the case may be. Neal's buying because he's the one that's got all the money.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. Right.
and, and then we will then tip the waitress. Hopefully we want to raise $5,000. So, that's what I would like to do, is give somebody a nice Nickel City Chronicles stimulus check. Somebody that really deserves it. Somebody that is a hard worker, that has been busting their back since the beginning of the pandemic, and who really needs this money and deserves it. So if you guys could please donate to our GoFundMe, make sure you smash that like button, visit us on YouTube. Neal's got some really compelling new videos that he just posted with some comic book creator and a young up and coming Latina in the community. So definitely just go take a look over there, see if that's something that you want to watch. But definitely make sure you donate to our Nickel City Chronicles Relief Fund. And hopefully we can start raising some money and giving it away to just more people, like businesses and things like that. We kind of want to do like a Dave Pitney, I don't know how do you say his name, Potney thing.
Yeah.
But our own spin on it.
Joe, explain how this is going to go about. So people sign up. So, okay. So right now is a tough time financially for everybody. Everyone's feeling this economy right now. It's not good, especially the restaurant industry is getting hit hard with regulations and they can't keep up and they're falling out of businesses. And the waitresses on the bottom are feeling it too. People forget about that. It's not just the business owners, it's the employees. So waitresses and waiters, right? Or is just waitresses?
I mean, we're not gender specific here.
Yeah.
It's waiters, waitresses, whatever.
Servers. Okay, that's what
servers.
Servers in Western New York who are in tough time right now, who can really use some help right now. That's what this is going to go to. So how does somebody go about like getting this and winning this thing? Like this is kind of like a competition if you think about it.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a great question. So what I would recommend, we're going to have more details on this, on how it's going to happen. The dates that we want to raise money from. I think we're going to probably do something starting, February 15th. We're going to wait till after Valentine's Day, probably February 15th through maybe let's say March 15th or a little bit more. Maybe April 15th, see how much money we can raise in a 2-month period. And then we'll take a month to review submissions. So if you have like a sister, brother, aunt, cousin, friend, bestie, whatever the case may be, lover, who cares, send in a referral to us as to why you think that they deserve this money. Now, keep in mind, we're going to be going out to eat together. We want to be known in the community. We want to know, we want people to know who we are and what we're about. So if we see a waiter or waitress that we think deserves this money as well, they may be entered in to get it. But what'll happen is we will select somebody who, meets that criteria, that really works hard and needs this money, and we'll give it to them as a tip.
Yeah,
it's a tough situation. We're not going to raise it enough to take care of all waiters and waitresses, unfortunately. But we do want to try to help somebody get our name out there, and this is a great way to do it.
Yeah, no, I think I love the idea. It's brilliant. I'm so down to do this. And 2-3 months down the line, if we raise this money and we give it to them, the joy I would get from seeing that person be relieved from all the stress of financial whatever, and just have some freedom for just a little bit of time, maybe, even if it's just to pay the rent, that would make me feel amazing. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I want to see happen. That how we choose, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And I fully agree 100%. We'll definitely figure that all out. We'll iron out the kinks, and we'll give a full rundown of exactly how it's going to work, the dates that it's going to go run through, and we'll keep you guys updated on the relief fund throughout the time that it's running. And then we will record ourselves going out to dinner and picking that winner. You know what I mean? That's pretty much it. Let me put it to you like this. I want to be the first one to say, some of the proceeds of the gains that occurred this past week will definitely be in that relief fund from me. So, to say the least, I definitely was blessed this week, and I want to make sure somebody else is blessed as well. So, I want to help somebody out. So this is definitely going to be a first for us. What do you think?
I'm pumped about that, dude.
Yeah. So get ready. When you see it go up on my Facebook page, please donate. And don't forget, please go over to YouTube, smash that like button, smash that subscription button, and definitely follow.
I'm thinking maybe if let's say we do get a lot of submissions and there's a lot of people that are struggling and they need the help and we can't choose, we should do some sort of pick a name from a hat thing between the people that we really, you know what I'm saying? Like, we should do something like that, just so we're not just picking somebody that we like. I think it should be,
Of course.
there should be a fair way to choose. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, we'll come on here. We will we'll iron out those details once we figure them out, and we will air out all our dirty laundry, and make sure that this is 100% fair for everybody that submits a person that they think is for a person of interest. But the most important thing is, like, I got to be honest with you. I want this money, me personally, I want this money to go to somebody who needs it. I don't want like an 18-year-old girl who lives at home, or boy, or whoever who lives at home with their parents to get $5,000. I want, or whatever we raise, I want somebody who truly needs that money. So, I mean, I'm not going to lie.
I mean, there's single parent moms out there living check to check. That's who I'm thinking about. That's the first thing that pops into my mind. You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
honestly, that's, if I was to pick somebody just based off having no submissions right now, and if I had to like pick someone in my head, it would be a single parent mother who lives.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's something that we could do. We can definitely kind of put it out there, but let's kind of figure out the details. This is just kind of the beginning of it. We'll figure out the details, and then what we'll do is, after it's all said and done, we will bring it to your attention. We will release the rules, everything, the submissions, when they got to be in by, and then we'll have that GoFundMe page up on our Facebooks and our YouTube accounts, and you'll be able to go ahead and donate if you'd like to participate. All right. We're looking for probably like $5 or $10. That's it. We're not looking for millions of dollars here.
Yeah, throw whatever. Throw $1 if you have it.
Yeah, $1 is more than enough. So, if we can get 5,000 people to throw $1, that'll be well worth it. But that's what I want to raise. 5,000 would be a great tip.
All right, let's go on to the big news of the week. I know we're late. Yeah. Sorry, we're a little late on this. But Ben Shapiro covered this. A bunch of people covered this. But yeah, Joe, you're pretty well versed on what's going on with this.
Absolutely.
So take it away.
So essentially what had happened is, it's just amazing. So a bunch of kids on Reddit, they're called the page is called Wall Street Bets. Essentially, they put a short squeeze on GameStop. So let me kind of share this here so we can see what's going on. And you guys can kind of see my page here, see everything that's going on. So essentially what had happened here, give me 1 second. I apologize. So what a short squeeze is, and I pulled this up for you. Essentially what a short squeeze is when you short a stock. So you're betting that the stock is going to go down. So essentially what you're doing is I pulled up my Webull app here. So say, for example, I don't know, let's just go to Apple. Instead of buying Apple, okay, you would go to Apple, and then you would, instead of hitting buy, you would actually sell it. And then you would have obviously you need a margin account, and you would sell the shares short. So if I wanted to short Apple, I'm betting that it's going to go down eventually, and I would sell it 5,000 shares short, or whatever the case may be, and that would be my position. Now what happens is if Apple goes up, you're going to be negative. Obviously, you're going to be losing money because you bet against the stock. If Apple goes down, you're going to be making tons of money. A great example of this is the movie The Big Short, which was the 2008 financial crisis. So essentially what had happened is in that movie, and it's a great movie to learn about the stock market in, they started to see the fundamentals of the housing market come out in light. So essentially they were getting collectivized debt obligations and things of that nature that were subprime loans and terrible loans, terrible securities, and people were borrowing against things, and you had adjustable mortgages and so on and so forth. And these loans eventually were going bad, belly up. So people were just selling this debt and selling this debt and selling this debt and never actually collecting this debt. So what ended up happening is the whole entire financial crisis happened. So these people actually started to see symptoms of this, and they started investigating this, and then they decided to short the housing market. And billions and billions and billions of dollars were made off of shorting the housing market. That's why people, when I say in 2008, when Obama took office, the biggest wealth transformation in American history occurred, because it did. Millionaires became even bigger millionaires, and billionaires if they played in the short game, and they were part of the hedge funds that shorted the market. Also, when the recession happened,
and also thousands and thousands of people lost their houses because they couldn't pay on those subprime loans. So the rich got richer and the poor got destroyed.
So essentially what Wall Street Bets did is they flipped it. So they went after the short position. And this is the web page in case anybody ever wants to kind of visit it. I follow it to a T. Unfortunately, I had GameStop on. This is Wall Street Bets. And it's a Reddit page, and you can go here and you can take a look. And the kid behind this, he's actually a scam artist. So this guy should not be hailed as a hero, because he's definitely scamming everyone. And if you don't know how the stock market works, you're a fool. So I apologize. I don't mean to be rude, but it's if you're playing in a game that you don't understand how it works, it's a foolish thing to do, because you will get bit.
You know the Wolf of Wall Street? What's his name? I'm sorry, I can't think of his
name.
Jordan Belfort. Yeah, I just was watching him give his take on the whole situation, because I'm interested, because he's clearly an expert on this stuff.
Yeah.
He said that that person reminds him of what he was doing.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's the scam. It's beautiful. And I'm sorry, man, like if you don't know what you're doing, then you shouldn't be participating in the stock market. So there's extensive books that you can read. There's even like paper trading on Webull that you can actually practice trading before you ever dip your feet in. So you should not just be buying stocks.
That's a really good idea. Listen, I want to just throw something out there real quick, just before you continue. I mean, I'm a student of business. I have a degree in business administration, and I'm going for another degree in economics right now. So I know a little bit. I don't like to talk too much about it, because I still have a lot to learn. But I know this. This is one thing that I can give people a little bit of knowledge on how exactly it works. If you play fantasy football or any fantasy sport, fantasy baseball or soccer or whatever, you're essentially doing exactly what the stock market is like. So, for example, the Baltimore Ravens just drafted a new cornerback, and they signed another defensive tackle. Now, the next season coming up, you might want to add the Baltimore Ravens defense to your fantasy team, because they're going to be a good defense, because they just added a bunch of new products, just like the market, right? So like Nike, it's coming out with new shoes. It's their stock's going to go up. Like, it's just like, and another thing you want to realize is, when one part so there's multiple markets, right? There's not just one market, there's multiple markets. And in a specific market, if one side, think of like a balloon, right? When one side starts to inflate, the other side is going to deflate. So if Nike's blowing up, another company will start to drop a little bit. It's kind of like like I said, it's like a balloon. Like when you squeeze one side of the balloon, the other side pops. You know what I'm saying?
The main purpose of the stock market, to kind of compare it to your fantasy football analogy there, is it's just the trading of securities, and based off of news and information and fundamentals of that company, that stock may go up or down. But the point I'm trying to make is that the thing about fantasy football is everybody can play it and not get burned as bad as you can get burned.
Oh, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the concept of a play. Okay, so even in a fantasy football app, for example, you have the plus and you have the ads, the rostered percentage and the ad percentage, and it tells you this player's getting added and added and added.
Yeah. And
79%.
you can look at players as certain
There
securities.
is a very, and look at, I'm not just making this up. I'm learning this from professors who have millions of dollars in stock markets, especially the balloon analogy. I got that from a very, very, very well educated economic advisor. But yeah, no, of course it's not the same. It's just an analogy. If you think about it, it's just an analogy. You can't say, yeah, if you can play fantasy football, you're going to be great at stocks. No way. It's not true at all. That's not what I'm getting at. I don't want anyone to think that. If you're a fantasy pro, don't just start buying stocks like you know what you're doing. It's totally different. But it's just like an analogy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. And I get it. Players are evaluated based off of securities, and essentially you can purchase a said security. And if that security goes up in stock, or if it goes up, your points will essentially go up. So I see your comparison, but and I'm not saying you're wrong or right or whatever. The point is that I want to make it perfectly clear that when you play in the stock market, if you don't understand what you're doing, you are going to get burned. And I say that from personal experience, definitely getting burned and over and over again until I finally figured out how to play this game. With that being said, the plan that Wall Street Bets pulled off was masterful. So essentially what they did is they went into the option market and they bought a ton of options to make the stock go up. And then as the stock started to go up, it went to $33 a share. It was on my list at $33. I was like, what is going on? GameStop should not be at $33. And to give you an idea of what the fundamentals are when I'm talking about a fundamental of a stock, everything that you can get through GameStop, you can get through Amazon, you can get through Google, you can get through PlayStation. Like GameStop should not be trading at $33 a share because it's obsolete. That is why the stock was in the basement, where it belongs with Uncle Joe. It's not worth anything. Like you don't have to get in your car to go and purchase a game. You can download it on your PlayStation, so or your Xbox or whatever. So it was making that stock obsolete. So essentially, what stockbrokers were doing was shorting the stock, waiting for it to go down, and it was. But with the pandemic and things like that, a lot of millennials, a lot of kids were playing video games. Some might not have access to downloading games, or they didn't have the newest PlayStation. They were going to brick and mortar stores and purchasing games, which was making earnings go up for GameStop, and that made the stock surge to 10.
Right.
When it surged to 10, covered calls shorts had to be covered. So when you short a stock, if the stock goes up, that means that you now have to cover your bet, okay, because your bet is bad. So when they started to cover their bets, it went to $33 a share, and that's where the magic happened. So then Wall Street Bets was like, okay, let's go into the option market and manipulate the stock even more. We'll have hundreds of thousands of people buy calls. So when they bought calls, which is you're betting the stock is going to go up, that made the stock price skyrocket because now the short sellers had to cover their bets even more. Right. So then it went to $150 a share. And then from there, it went to $345 a share this morning.
Yeah.
So, and the rest is history. But here's the thing.
I mean, it's an artificial inflation. It doesn't represent that GameStop is
fundamentals at all.
GameStop's doing terrible right now because people are downloading games. I have a Alienware. I don't have a console. I just download a game and I play it and I'm done with it. Most people are going in that direction. So long term, GameStop is going to die eventually. Yeah. But so when you see those things happening, it's not a representation of the market. It's an artificial inflation of the market. So now we're seeing, and I hate saying this, and I hate this, but now we're seeing people come out, politicians and people on Wall Street saying we need to regulate the market. The hedge funds get away with it. Wall Street gets away with it. But when it's the little guy, when it's Redditors or whatever, now all of a sudden it's like, oh man, this is a artificial inflation of the market. We need to regulate that. It's like, come on, bro. That's not the way this works. You know what I'm saying? And when you regulate the market in any way, you're just setting up a disaster because the market should be literally, in my opinion, in my philosophy, and like I'm socially liberal. Okay. I'm very socially liberal. Economically, I'm fiscally conservative though. I think the market should be left laissez-faire, untouched. Let the market do what it wants. Let it roll on its own, because the market is literally will work itself out. It always does.
AOC and Ted Cruz came out the other day and they were like, listen, you steal from millions of people on Wall Street daily. And you bet against you gambled away our financial future in 2008. You gambled away multiple crashes and multiple financial crises. So for you to say that the little guy can't attack a short position is absolutely insane. Right. When you have Democrats and Republicans agreeing on the same thing, you can bet your bottom dollar that no regulation will occur. When it comes to Wall Street. Everything is going to stay exactly the same.
It's fine. It's something to laugh at. But it's funny because if people did fall for that, let's say they did get their way. Let's say they got some people in the media to, you need to regulate the market. By the way, I did see somebody, I think it was Fox News. I don't want to say it. I don't have it with me. There was one anchor. I can't remember where someone sent it to me. It was a clip. And they were like, maybe the regulations should be. And right away, the person that was on the show with him was like, oh, dude, don't even say that right now. But there are people talking about it now. But now let me finish. Now, if that did actually happen, is let's say the media was behind that, which they're not. But if they were, and people agreed to regulate the market, they're agreeing to hang themselves, basically. It would just kill the little guy, and then the big guys on top of the hedge funds people, they would not suffer one bit. They would be able to get away with whatever they wanted to, and then this would never happen again, and they would just be rich would get rich forever, and no one else would ever have anything. That's how it would be. So anyone ever tries to tell you we should regulate the stock market, shut them down right away.
Yeah, no, the regulation that I know of that everyone is calling for is to regulate the hedge funds against shorting stocks, because right. What they're doing is it's called a naked short. So essentially what you're doing is when you short a stock that's naked, essentially you are shorting shares that don't exist. So when and it's an illegal practice, and it still can be done through market takers and things like that. So essentially what you're doing is you're shorting shares that don't exist, and you're taking a position that you can't take a position of. People are upset that you can short shares that you don't even own. So you got to remember something. When I said you literally go into your trading app and you hit sell, you're selling something that you don't own.
Yeah.
You do not own shares of GameStop. You do not own shares of Nook. You do not own shares of any of these companies. You are literally just betting that it's going down. And when you do that, you are betting against something that you don't own. And when you do that, that's what people are calling out the regulation for. So maybe there should be some regulation when it comes to that. But the point I was trying to get at is the scam that was played on the American people. Ignorance is bliss. So everybody thinks that Wall Street bets is their heroes, and they are in a sense. I'm for what they're doing, but if you don't know what they're doing, you can get bit. So essentially what they're doing is they're building up a stock, and then they're pulling that stock, they're pulling the bag, and then the little guy's left holding the bag.
Yeah, they artificially.
So, yeah, they don't know when to sell AMC. They don't know when to sell GameStop. There's literally people that are still believing that GameStop is going to rebound and come back to 300.
By the way, Adam Smith in the 18th century wrote about this exact situation, and he said that at all costs, the market has to remain in a natural state.
Yeah.
Artificially pumping stocks and all that is never good, because it doesn't represent the market. If GameStop's not doing good, the stock shouldn't show that it's doing good. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And if you're talking about Adam Smith's stock market, we're so far gone from that. I mean, Amazon.
Yeah, no, it's so gone now. Yeah.
Triple its earnings. Please. With that being said, as far as I'm concerned, though, the game that was played is definitely one that not many people really understand how it's being played. So essentially what they're doing is they're pushing the stock all the way up, and then they're pulling the bottom out from underneath you, and that's when the stock starts to drop, and it goes from 342 to 330 to 320 to 340, and then it'll bounce back down to 315, and then twos, and then ones, and then it'll go back down to the basement right where they found it. And people like you and I are left holding the bag because we weren't told when to sell. And I got to tell you something, the scariest thing in my life that I've ever seen is somebody that actually, the amount of people that are actually trading in the stock market that have no knowledge of how it works.
Yeah, no.
But I
And
mean,
by the way, while you were talking, I just wanted to look it up for my own because I was talking about something and I don't have the references to back it up. It was Charlie Gasparano of Fox News who mentioned that he was open to regulating the market.
There will be consequences for the people that engaged in gambling here at some point, and there should be consequences. The markets will correct because GameStop.
I guess what they're asking, Charlie, is whether the same standards apply for those running up a stock as those running it down. Do we scrutinize the short sellers as much? Go ahead.
I
just want to understand, guys, are you, real quickly, guys, are you for the government looking into this?
No.
Charlie Gasparino,
no,
yes or no? All right, Charlie Payne, you're not.
Look into it.
So
I'm not for
both
more
not
regulation.
You agree?
I want them to make sure, though, that you can never
stop.
You can never short 140% of a company. I want to make sure that hedge funds can never keep shorting unlimited amounts of stock because every short is a deliberate sell, a deliberate attempt to knock the stock down, and that is not a free market.
I want to make sure
and that
people
was the
stop
case with GameStop. It did have 140% short position. All right.
What happened? That was Fox News, dude.
yeah, I mean,
So that's what I'm saying. It's not just the hedge fund people that are talking about that. There are some people, politicians and media heads that are following that wave because obviously they're in their pocket. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, to an extent, but you can't literally ask for regulation when you are the one committing the crime.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to get.
That's what Ted Cruz and Rand Paul and all of the politicians and all the Democrats and Republicans alike literally said is you cannot ask for regulation when you're the one committing the crime as well. You shorted a stock that you didn't own, and now you got bit,
right? And
you have to pay the price. But trust me, they're not getting bit like you think they are.
No way.
They are definitely able to cover those calls.
Yeah.
And they are definitely able to cover those shorts.
I mean, Robinhood shut down their stock.
Robinhood, now listen, that's an unfair play as to what's going on with Robinhood. Robinhood is, in my opinion, a great brokerage. It's free trading. It gives tons of information on how to do
I actually like Robinhood. But
okay. There was more than one brokerage that stopped that limited trading. It wasn't just Robinhood. Robinhood just happens to be in the news a lot because of millennials.
And I think Ameritrade wants Robinhood to get shut down. So Ameritrade sort of has the media, like they're sort of the mainstream, big corporate company. So I think that's what we're seeing with that. It's sort of a media twist with, oh, look at the bad guys now. It's them. You know what I'm saying? But really, it's not.
Yeah. And I mean, they literally had to stop filling orders for stocks because they were running out of funds. That's how much money was being made.
That's crazy.
That's why they had to have an influx of I think it was $6.2 billion or something like that.
That's crazy.
So they can literally fill orders. So the point I'm trying to make is you can't blame Robinhood. I will say this. I don't like the fact that they did limit us. They should never do that. You can't stop somebody from the free market process. Yeah. I don't like that other brokerage firms did that as well. But, to everyone that did limit them, you can go to a different brokerage. That's my best recommendation. But I want to get on other things too,
Yeah, sure.
I picked a couple of stocks on Monday, if you don't remember, and I kind of want to go over those and let you know how they did. So I told you guys to buy IDEX on Monday, which was January 25th. It was at $368.50. If you would listen to me, you'd be at $4.34 right now.
Nice.
That's almost $1 profit right there. So if you would have bought, a couple thousand shares or whatever the case may be, you'd have your
$1,000.
Couple pretty nice penny right there. I also mentioned what other stocks did I mention? I gotta write these down so that way I can go over it.
We do gotta do that.
So let's get to my winners for this week. Let's get to my winners.
Real quick though, what happened with Pelosi? I heard Pelosi invested into Tesla, and then the very next day, Joe Biden passed a bill that made Tesla It gave Tesla a huge advantage in the market. Stock soared in the stock market. It was some sort of electric car deal that they made. I can't remember exactly the details. I should have wrote down what it was.
I'm not going to speculate. I can't confirm nor deny that Nancy Pelosi.
No one could. Nobody could, and I don't think anybody ever will. But let's just be real for a second. Come on.
Yeah.
That sounds a little sketch.
It is, but you can't. I cannot confirm.
You can't say anything.
I can't. There's
no.
I can't.
Only thing you can say is there's another politician getting rich off the stock market. It's like
you don't know that she did that though, so we don't know. You know, if
she did,
that would. We don't know if she did that because if she did,
she invested money.
We know for sure she invested money.
Yes, that's a factual statement. We know that she invested money, and then the next day they soared.
I mean, like I researched it.
Let me see if I can find a reputable source while you're telling everybody.
I couldn't find anything that said that she invested.
Okay. Maybe I'm wrong, but let's go back to your winners, and I'll see if I can find something real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll go back to my winners. So, my winners for the week are, let's see here.
Here it is, right here.
Throw it up on the screen.
All right.
While I get my winners.
Yahoo Finance. Can we agree that Yahoo Finance is a reputable source? I mean, it's pretty left wing.
I'm showing.
If it was Yahoo talking about a Republican, I probably wouldn't put two. I'd probably just take a grain with salt. But Yahoo is pretty freaking left wing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yahoo. This is what it says. Nancy Pelosi's recent stock purchase raises important ethics issues of all Congress. And then another source. Hold on, let's see. You know what? Let's just keep going here real quick. Purchase call options at a stake price of $500, and the next day from up to $890. Wow. Look at this though. Here's Techno Codex. They're talking about it. San Francisco Gate has mentioned it. Fox News obviously is all over it. Snopes, here's the fact checkers now. Here's what Snopes is saying. Snopes is saying that did Nancy Pelosi invest up to $1 million in Tesla, February 1st, 2021, and they put mixture. So they put it's sort of true, and the answer is in a periodic transaction report published in January 2021, Pelosi disclosed that her husband Paul Pelosi had invested between $500,000 and $1 million in Tesla stock options. The ethical considerations from that transaction are very similar to those that would have arisen if Pelosi herself had personally made the investment. Then it says, what's false? However, the investment was not personally conducted by Nancy Pelosi herself. There you go. That's where we stand. So it is what it is, right? What are we going to do? Are you going to do anything about it? I'm not. What am I going to do about it? I could talk about it. I mean, I could get people.
If that's the case, then she should be charged for insider trading. I'll say that right now.
But do you think it's going to happen though?
Just because your spouse invested that money for you doesn't mean that you didn't give him the information.
Here's the Snopes that everybody loves. Just so you guys know that I'm not just making this up.
I didn't know that. I mean, I got other things to worry about than what Nancy Pelosi is investing in. Although I will say, take some advice. Tesla is a great stock to invest in, but Tesla is No. Time out. Tesla is GameStop on steroids. Okay.
Why?
Tesla does not have the fundamentals to be trading at $900 a share. I'm sorry, sir. Tesla does not have the fundamentals. Let me put it to you like this. Yeah, so what? Tesla doesn't have let's take a look at Tesla. Give me 1 second here. I will show you personally that Tesla does not have the fundamentals to trade at $900 a share.
Fundamentals.
I'll show you what I mean. Hang on 1 sec.
Because basic stocks 101. Like this is basic. If a company has a big future coming and everyone can see it, they have all the best electric cars and the country's going green. We all know that the world's going green. So that's common. I mean, Tesla, that's common sense that they should be thriving right now. And not to mention Tesla's getting involved in other areas now too. I mean, they should be thriving.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that they should be a company that has.
Are you talking about consumers not really buying into it? Maybe is that what
no, what I'm talking about is the fundamentals behind it. Give me 1 second here. Let me get it pulled up. First off, here's a great one. Okay, let me share my screen.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. I mean, you're doing this every day, so.
I mean, I don't know how.
I'm only going off my education of what I learned from people who are really educated, who really are experts on it. I don't know. You know, I don't have the experience in stock trading right now. I just have.
So if you want to go off of education,
that's all I'm going on, dude. I'm telling you, my education tells you stocks are based on the market. If people believe in something, it's gonna go. It's just based. That's all I'm saying. I mean, you could be the numbers or whatever.
I believe everything that you're saying, and I agree with what you're saying. But I taught economics at Buffalo State. Like I know what I'm talking about when it comes to the stocks.
I know you do. I know you do. That's why I always let you take it away.
Tesla is extremely inflated, and that's fine if you trust the company. I do trust the company. Yeah. I think Elon Musk is a genius. And I think that he will definitely get the company to where it needs to be. But Tesla is not valued. The price to earnings ratio is not correct. I mean, the point I'm trying to make it seem.
JP Morgan, I'm going to give you a point that agrees with you. JP Morgan is saying that Tesla shares are dramatically overvalued. The analyst pointed out that in the past 2 years, Tesla shares have risen over 800%. Analysts have raised their price targets by about 450%. Also simultaneously lowered their earnings estimates for the company in 2024. So yeah, people agree. Yeah, you're definitely not saying something that's like you're right. I'm probably wrong, but all I am saying is this. Like you're right on like you're saying what you're saying is what other people are saying, and you're right. You're in that like wave, and and you're paying attention, and you're reading Morning Star and all that, and you know what you're talking about. Like you said, you taught it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not taking that from you, but what I'm seeing is in my own mind, because this is my education. I go to school for economics, and I've got a degree in business. My education tells me that Tesla, who makes electric cars in a world that's getting greener, it makes sense for it to grow. And could it be overvalued though? I'm sure you're right. I'm not even going to argue with that one bit. I'm sure you're 100% right. And I looked it up just to see if anyone else was on board with what you're saying, and it popped right up. 2 seconds. First thing that popped up, JP Morgan. So yeah, I don't even know why I'm even going.
Listen, I'm not saying that Tesla is not a great company to invest in. I'm not saying that I personally
I'm not going to
invest my own funds right now into Tesla.
Yeah, no.
Elon Musk is a genius.
Especially
the point I'm trying to make is the fundamentals of the stock are not there, just like they weren't there for GameStop.
Sure. No, I get what you're saying. You're saying
went up solely on psychology.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. You're saying it's inflated, and I get that. Yeah, that's fine.
So, I mean, either way, I think that Tesla is a great company to invest in. I would recommend highly for anybody to invest in it. There's tons of people that I know that are Tesla heirs. But either way, I mean, yeah, the point I'm trying to make is that the stock was way overvalued, and
it's going up even more now. You know,
that's why but Tesla has the financial backing to keep the stock at $800 a share. GameStop does not. That's why the bottom is going to fall out.
Yeah.
So
that's I agree with.
My stock pick for the week would be to buy puts against GameStop, to buy puts against costs, to buy puts against AMC. I would short the hell out of those stocks. Let me put it to you like this. This morning,
a lot of people made a bunch of money.
This morning, I bought AMC. Let me put it to you let me tell you my AMC play, okay? I'm going to tell you my AMC play. I'm not going to tell you how much money I made, but I'm going to tell you my AMC play. I bought AMC at probably two or 3 days ago, right on Friday night. No, on Thursday night at $4.95 a share. The next day, it rose to $20 a share overnight. I sold my shares of AMC in the morning at $18 a share. I left $2 on the table. Okay. AMC then went down to approximately $7 a share. The volume on AMC was through the roof. Anybody with a brain knew that if the volume is that high, the stock is going to go up. So I rebought in AMC at $7 a share. This morning, AMC reached $17 a share. At $7 a share, I sold at $16 a share. I left $3 on the table, and I profited an enormous amount of money. And then I bought put options when I sold those shares, and now it is down to, give me 1 second here. AMC, I bought put options for $13 a share. It's down to $12.43. So I made money going up twice, and now I'm making money going down.
I see what you're saying.
So again, if you don't know
how
the stock market,
are you a day trader though? You consider yourself a day trader?
I consider myself a trader.
Yeah.
Day trading is only a small portion of my portfolio.
Got you.
I have long-term holds.
You buy mutual funds too?
Mutual fund, absolutely. Everyone buys mutual funds.
Everyone's good, right? Yeah.
Case.
It's the safest bet. Safest thing. It's just going to go up. Unless America falls. Unless America falls, then you're good.
Even if America falls, mutual funds are one of the safest bets. Essentially, what you're doing is your dollar cost averaging. So you're buying in at all different prices, essentially making the cost per share lower.
Yeah.
And you're
investing in the market as a whole. You're just saying, let's go. It's something to invest in for your future for when you retire. You know what I'm saying?
I would say, yeah, kind of. That's a great kind of way to look at it. You're not investing in the market as a whole. You're investing in industry. So a great example of this, I'll show you what essentially a mutual fund is give me 1 second here. Hang on. Let me get this pulled up here. What a mutual fund is this. So I invest in Vanguard. Vanguard is where my one of my portfolios are. And hang on, let me get this pulled up here so you can see it. So essentially, how a mutual fund works is this. So here is Vanguard. Here is you're looking at Vanguard dividend, okay? And let's look at Vanguard Vanguard index right here, okay? Sorry, right here. This is good. Vanguard dividend, because I can't find my index. So essentially what Vanguard dividend is doing is it's investing in all these different stocks, and we are all putting our money into Vanguard dividend. Whoever chooses Vanguard dividend is one of their investment portfolios. And then they're taking all that money, and you're getting exposures to Union Pacific, Procter & Gamble, Colgate and Nike, Microsoft, McDonald's, Johnson & Johnson, Coca-Cola, United Health. You're getting exposure to all these different companies. So if you don't have, let's look at this. This is my wish list, right? So Amazon is trading at $3,355.60 a share. Okay. And it has the revenue to be trading at that. By the way, I want to throw that out there. That's not a Tesla. That is definitely true.
That's just
but with that being said,
sense. I mean, Amazon.
They're going to rule the world. They're going to rule the world.
Yeah.
With that being said, so if you're Joe Schmo from around the corner and you don't have $3,355.60 to invest in Amazon, you get into a mutual fund who's going to put all its eggs into this basket of stock.
That's what I'm getting at.
So you will be able to get into it.
That's what I was getting at. Is mutual. If you want to be safe and you want to invest long term, you're looking to get some mutual funds.
Yeah, absolutely. And I always advise people,
bonds. There's bonds too. That's a little bit different. That's a whole different
bonds. Bonds are great to get into, but only bonds are great to be into right now. the reason why bonds are good to be into,
because we're down.
What bonds protect against is inflation.
Yeah, right.
So when inflation goes up, the bond market goes up. So you can get into the bonds and make money now. When inflation's down, the bond market goes down. So right now, with stimulus checks and the stimulating the economy, you are printing funny money that doesn't exist, which is going to cause inflation. When the second stimulus check came out, the bond markets popped 2%. I was in the bond markets. Let me put it to you like this. What happened this week is beyond belief, to say the least. Like, I mean, just the Reddit boys and all them. Let's go over to Dogecoin. I kind of want to talk about Doji here and kind of show you what that's all about here. And let's get over here. So Dogecoin, this is what happened with Dogecoin. So a tweenie, if you know what a tweenie is if you're looking at 7891, you see how those 2 zeros are there? That's less than a penny. So it's 7 tweenies, okay? And then all of a sudden it goes up to, it gets to its first penny, okay? So I've been investing in Dogecoin for quite some time. Elon Musk loves it. Like I said, I believe in Elon Musk. I follow Elon Musk. I tweet with Elon Musk. I do a lot. I listen to his seminars. I love Elon Musk. The Boring Company in Vegas is an ingenious invention. I believe in his stock. I do. But his stock is definitely overvalued. With that being said, I invested in this and I've been holding it and putting little bits of cash because, I mean, if you put $150 in there, and it was 1 tweenie, it was 7 tweenies, you're going to have thousands of shares, thousands. So I've been just slowly building up shares. Well, the Reddit boys decided to make Dogecoin go to 8 cents a share. 8 cents a share. So to say the least, this was my best play, was Dogecoin. I literally didn't know what was going on. Like, I was looking at my phone. I was like, oh my God. I was literally playing pool with my friend. We were in a league match. I couldn't stop looking at my phone. It was the most exciting 4 hours of my life watching that. And, and I owe it all to Elon Musk. I do. He's been saying Dogecoin. He likes to post these little pictures of a girl bent over and a priest praying, and then he'll put like Bitcoin or Dogecoin on there. And, when he does that, he spikes the price of Bitcoin or Dogecoin. So I've always just been throwing like, what's $50? What's $60? It's less than a penny. What, like, you can't go wrong. If it spikes, you're a millionaire. If it doesn't, you're the same. So I've been putting the money in there. And then all of a sudden the Reddit boys decided, because of the manipulation with the brokerages, they were like, let's go over to Dogecoin and make Dogecoin go up. And all of a sudden Dogecoin went up and I had a massive amount of money in my portfolio.
That's good.
And it was the most exciting thing of my life. But I mean, I'm blessed. It was just an amazing week, to say the least, in the stock market.
Sure.
And
not for everybody, but it's been for some, for you, that's good.
Oh yeah, it's not, it hasn't been an amazing week for the hedge fund guys. No, not at all. Not for them, but for us little guys, yeah, it's been an amazing week. And if and then American Airlines.
Some of them made a lot of money though. Some of it, hedge fund guy. I bet you a lot of them got it.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? For
sure. They didn't listen. They're not crying broke today. They're not crying broke today. Their firms probably lost some money, but they didn't. So with that being said, I wish the best to everybody out there, and I want to help everyone invest. And I think investing, it should be on everyone's radar. But again, if you're going to invest in the stock market, I posted a picture of a shark. That's how you have to look at it. Like, if you're going to play in the stock market, you're going to get bit. And if you don't know what you're doing and you don't have stop losses and trailing stops in play, and you don't look at the fundamentals behind a company, it could end up hurting you.
And also, it's not, you have to do your own research. This is where I come in. You have to do your own research on what's going on in the market. You can't just trust Google or, you know what I'm saying, Yahoo Finance and they're not, if everybody just did that, I mean, a lot of people would be going broke if you think about it. And plus there's a lot of manipulation in the media. There's a lot of manipulation in the media. So you have to do your own research and really dig into what's going on. Well, if you're going to invest into a company, think about the future of the company. Is there products coming down the pipeline? Are they going to be, you know what I'm saying? Are they expanding? Are they going to, you know what I mean? Like it's really, you got to do, you have to know current events too.
Absolutely. Listen, man, I'm up at 4. You can ask my wife. She will attest this. I am up at 4 a.m. I am reading newspapers. I am down reading the Wall Street Journal.
I mean, that's what you got to do. Wall Street Journal is great for that.
Yeah. And then on top of that, at 4 a.m. after I wake up and I read all that, you know, I'm reading the Market Watch, Wall Street Journal, CNN, Fox News. I read them all because they all have different takes. At like 6 o'clock in the morning, the market opens. Pre-market really gets going on my brokerage. And then I can start kind of trading around and seeing what I want to do for the day. And then at 9:30 is when the market actually opens up. I jump in. I evaluate my positions. I'm always making adjustments. The one stock tip that I'm going to give every single person. So I want to make this clear. I know we've been on for a long time.
Yeah, we gotta get going.
I can talk stocks all day long. Recently I had somebody come on, or somebody give me a call, asked me for advice on stocks, and I gave them some advice, and they had texted me that they had lost some money. And then a few days later, the stock that I had advised them to stay in popped. It's $25 a share.
Yeah.
It was American Airlines. I've been telling every single person that I know that's my stock tip of the future right there.
Yeah.
Do invest in the airlines. That is the only industry.
Let me go back to the fantasy football. Let me go back to the fantasy football energy before we close out. So you said American Airlines. Great pick, right? Why? Because soon when people get vaccinated and when more regulations get lifted, people are going to start traveling again. And they're going to start making more money again. So inevitably, right now people aren't traveling, so they're down. Inevitably, that's an inevitable. Look, what you just said was a perfect pick because that stock is inevitably going to raise. And now, like I said about the fantasy football thing, I just want to make it clear because I don't think you understood what I was saying. It's like, for example, a running back might have had a bad season. Let's say Leonard Fournette. He didn't have a good season this year, right? What if next year he goes to the Buffalo Bills? And we got rid of Singletary. And we got a new right tackle and a right guard who are the first round pick and second round pick. He's got good protection. He's gonna get the ball 50 times or 25 times a game. You're gonna pick up that player in the draft. His future is gonna be great, right?
So it's fundamentals.
Now the balloon analogy. I know you were like, huh? What I meant by that was, let's say the same situation happens, right? But we kept Singletary. Singletary stock goes down. Fournette's going to be the guy now. So Singletary, think of him as you're squeezing the balloon on Singletary, and Fournette's blowing up. So that's what I meant by that. It's not an analogy on the entire market as a whole. There's different analogies for different things. I brought up those two because it makes a lot of sense to a lot of people. It's very easy to understand that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, I think you're absolutely correct when you're comparing the fantasy football to what you were just talking about is the fundamentals of the stock.
Right.
So, Fournette comes over, the offensive line is better, whatever the case may be. You have
whatever the case may be, right.
Yeah, that is the fundamentals behind the stock. So that's why the price of the stock goes up. He has a better offensive line, bigger holes.
And that's why I was saying, and that's why I didn't mean to argue with you. But when you were talking about Tesla and I was like, the fundamentals, I'm like, we're going green. We got Biden in office now. Like, this is going to be – that's why I was saying that. And I wasn't saying you were wrong because, I mean, you know what you're talking about. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I think there's there's two ways to look at it like that. And fundamentally –
yeah, absolutely. But, I mean, the point I was trying to get at with Tesla –
it's way high. Yeah. No, I get that.
Fundamentals are not there to support an 800 – even if –
no, you're saying it's way higher than it should be. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, it's way overvalued.
Yeah.
like Tesla did a stock split recently. Tesla was trading at like $1,600 or $1,700 a share, and they did a 5-for-1 stock split. So if you had one stock, you got 5 stocks back. But they were like at like I'm sorry, it was a 2-for-1 stock split. So 3-for-1. Sorry, you got $500. It was at $500 a share after they did a stock split. So just keep in mind, like Tesla is technically, even though it looks like it's only trading at $800 a share, that company is actually trading somewhere in the $2,000 range. It looks like it's trading at $800 a share, but it did a stock split. So that company is theoretically went from 1,500 down to 5, and now is approaching $1,000.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, and they don't have what GM and Ford has in
which is
Toyota. You know what I mean? So
that's why I said the consumers. If you look off the street right now, if you look on the street right now in Kevin, New York, and you look at all the cars on the street, you might not see one Tesla. You're seeing Chevy, you're seeing Ford, you're seeing Toyota. That's why I was agreeing with you when I said that. I was like, when you said about the not having, I was saying, yeah, the consumer is not there yet. I agree with that. That's all, and that's where I was saying.
So when you were talking about Adam Smith earlier, Adam Smith would look at a Tesla share and be like, this is not a good realization of what the market should be, because Tesla is way overvalued. But I'm not saying that it's not a good investment. What I am saying is that the stock is overvalued.
Right.
It doesn't mean that it won't go to $3,000 a share. I'm just saying it's overvalued. The fundamentals aren't behind the stock to support that kind of a price tag. That's it. That's why it gets a 1-star Morningstar. That's why it's one of the most heavily shorted stocks, is because people believe that eventually the fundamentals will take over, just like they will in GameStop and AMC. AMC is not a profitable company right now.
Yeah.
That's why their stock is going to tank.
And I think with like the Pelosi situation, I think that's sort of, and I mean this like really sort of, like small sort of shows that there's fundamentals coming for Tesla.
Yeah.
You're seeing people like that and put money down, and you're seeing Biden pass legislation that helps them. There you go. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Absolutely. Either way,
this is a great conversation, dude. And I like talking about this with you. You're pretty knowledgeable and well-versed when it comes to the market. So
you have to be, because if you're not, you'll get eaten.
No, I mean, Joe, and to anyone that's still here watching, or you watch on YouTube later or something, Joe sends me photos. He sends me screenshots of the numbers that he's breaking in. This dude's killing it. So he knows what he's talking about.
I mean,
I've seen it firsthand.
That doesn't matter.
No, I'm just saying, like, if anyone's just wondering, like, is this guy really know? Like, I've seen you show me. Look, I just bought this. Boom, look at this. 2 weeks later, you'll send me another text. Look. Remember I showed you that one I bought? Boom, look at this. I've seen it. I've seen you do it. I know that you know what you're doing. I know you read on this stuff a lot. So I think you're more experienced. I think that with my education, I think both of us is like, that's a good little house to be in for when it comes to the market.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, either way, the stock market isn't for everyone, and
no way. Not
that's all I can say. Be careful.
And that's why I brought up mutual funds and bonds, because if it's not for everybody, just do that. Just go find somebody.
There are several apps out there that I support. Stash is a great app. If you don't need any sort of market strategy, you literally can pick like a mutual fund or an EFT. Which is, a great little vehicle to make money. They create EFTs, which is a basket of stocks, kind of like a mutual fund, but not really.
Yeah.
And you can be invested in the stock market like I am.
And what you're doing, and you're contributing to grow the nation. That's what you're doing. It's a win for everybody.
Yeah.
That's why Adam Smith wrote Wealth of Nations, to design the economy of America. And here we are today. We're still talking about it. It's a sure thing. It's not like when you talk about like socialism and communism, it failed here, it failed there. Does it work? We don't know. Like, we know stock market works. We know it's a system that works. It's been working for centuries now. And the book that Adam Smith wrote Wealth of Nations. You should read it if you ever want. It's not an easy read, but if you ever want to really learn about like the origins of the capitalist American market, there it is right there, and it's all still valid today. None of it's outdated. It reads like, I mean, you literally could say that it came out yesterday, and it's all valid. It's all still there. None of it failed. So,
there's a lot of books that you can read about the free market economy that we created.
Oh, Milton Friedman. Okay. Oh yeah. Since we're on the subject of telling people where to go to find books on the market and economics, I'm going to give you my number one and number two economic experts who literally contributed to my ideology as a fiscally conservative person. Like I said, I'm socially liberal, fiscally conservative person. And the reason why, reading number one, Milton Friedman. Number two, Thomas Sowell. I'm going to throw both their pictures up real quick. Milton Friedman, Thomas Sowell. Those two people, well, they're the masters of economics. I mean, there's a lot more, but I just wanted to mention two. Larry Elder's pretty good too.
I don't I don't really have free market economy books. Like, I got history books that I've read, but I don't have any authors to really to give you there. I
want to do a video. I want to do a video coming up pretty soon. I'm gonna kind of show off my library a little bit because, dude, I got books, man. I love books. I can't go to sleep unless I read.
That's the most important thing in the world. If you know how to read, you can learn anything.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why it's stressed in school. But hey, listen, my stock pick for all time is buy the airlines. Buy the airlines. Buy the airlines.
I second that.
But I want real quick. I want to throw this in there.
Don't do it to day trade though. Just hold on.
You have to hold it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The person that criticized
it's a long-term hold.
Yeah, that's a long-term hold. That's a very long-term.
It's not like a 5-minute hold.
No, don't.